Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on the markets on Liberation Day. It's the Liberation Day update. We're going to do a full update on what's going on. This morning, I mean, it seems like we had reclaimed back into the range. But what we talked about very briefly, I think in my video as well, but I at least in the premium feed, we talked about that we still had a minor chance to break from to go up from this level right here, the POC at 84,200, and that is eventually what happened. Now I'm going to be completely honest with you. At this point of time, Liberation Day with the tariffs coming later this evening, I mean, there basically is no edge, right? So I'm not completely flat, but I have absolutely zero risk in the market. And that's also what I would suggest for all of you. I mean, what we're seeing so far is that there are some coins, first of all, that are moving. But outside of that, the US opening so far has been pretty good. Which you can see right here, S&P 500. Well, there's a lot of green candles here with the price not moving up. But ultimately, the price traded a bit lower pre-market, and the price got back up to the levels it closed at yesterday. So that's good. And at the same point of time, you can also see some crypto bidding coming in here and there. Where we actually have a Coinbase Bitcoin price premium here and there, so that's all good, right? And you can also see Bitcoin after that bounce here from the previous month POC, it's going up to that imbalance right here at 86,500, 85,500. That's all nice. But like I said in previous videos as well, there still is, first of all, a lot of uncertainty. Bitcoin actually looks pretty good, right? So if we just judge it based on the technicals, what you would say is that, all right, well, we had this level right here with the POC, the point of control. We bounced from that pretty nicely. But then while saying that, one of the main things I always think you need to keep an eye on is the volume. And if you take a look at the volume right now in the markets, look, there are some coins that are gaining in volume. And the volume across the board is also up. But the volume for Bitcoin is not something to write home about, right? And if you compare this volume to last week, for example, when we also were bullish, the volume was a good couple of $1 billion higher, right? So therefore, that in combination with the uncertainty of tonight, it makes me believe that it's still very, very difficult, first of all, to predict Bitcoin. But outside of that, I also don't think it's worth it, all right? Because all the bullish momentum we see right now, technically, there's not a lot of conviction behind it, all right? There's not a lot of volume behind it, which is what you want to see. Now, talking about tonight, because we do have to talk a little bit about the tariffs, of course, and my own expectations. Look, this is of course not a channel discussing the geopolitics of the world and trade wars in general. I would argue, and I think that's also one of the key reasons why we're getting this momentum, this bullish momentum in the markets, which by the way is also a lot of leveraged longs. But one of the key reasons is that I do expect some sort of a de-escalation, all right? I mean, basically since these talks of tariffs, what you have seen is that some pretty harsh retaliations, or at least potential retaliations, have come from other parts in the world. And in the end, look, I don't think they're just going to go through with these tariffs just because they want to level the playing field. In the end, I also think that the economists behind Trump in this case want the best for the US, and I don't think escalation is the best for the US. Right? Tariffs, okay, but I don't think they're going to be more major than the ones we have already seen today. So therefore, I think we've seen this bullish momentum in the markets, but therefore we could also still spike up higher. But as long as there's no volume, I'm not going to trust it, and I think eventually, and that could also be with some sort of a sell the news event later, I think we're going to drop down. But yeah, talking about Bitcoin right here, I mean, like I said, it's difficult to predict. It seems likely we're going for 87,000, 86,500. That seems likely with the strength we're seeing so far, and also with the direction of the stock market and the Coinbase Bitcoin price. So that's what I would expect short term for Bitcoin. But ultimately, it's just going to depend a lot on this evening, right? And this night, what's going to be said, what will Liberation Day entail, and that's it. But right, let's talk about some altcoins. Let's talk about XRP and some other things that I thought were interesting. But before that, a quick interruption. All right, everybody, a quick interruption. I am very, very sorry, but I think you need to know this, all right? They reached out to me, and in general, I think this is a project that you actually need to know. It's launching very, very soon, and it's building some very, very interesting things, all right? So let's get to it. Wanted to take a quick moment to talk about Ample Protocol, all right? So this is a new project. It's launching next week, but more about that later. And they are building a protocol for tokenizing IP, intellectual property, on Base. Now, right off the bat, that basically taps into two narratives, right? So first of all, Base, which is obviously made by Coinbase, which is doing a lot of things right now under the current administration, and IP, that's RWA, or at least tokenization, that's RWA, which is still one of the best narratives. So in general, they're building a great dApp. They have already built a product as well, which you can check. I'll leave some links down in the description. But outside of that, just purely talking about the price and narratives and momentum, it's also attached to two amazing narratives. Now, it's similar to Story Protocol. It's a little bit different in the core. It's similar to Story Protocol. That did absolutely great after launch. As you can see, also has over $1 billion in market cap. Now, Ample Protocol is launching next week, all right, via Fjord Foundry, which is one of the biggest fair launch protocols, but I'll leave a link to that down in the description as well. And just in general, I would suggest to follow them on X. There you will get some more information. You can also still participate with the Intract quest they have to get a free airdrop for some free tokens, but there you will also find more information regarding this token sale. So check it out. Think you need to know about it, but for now, let's get on with the video. All right, now let's talk about XRP. So XRP over the course of today has been flat. This morning, what I said, and what I said for the last couple of days, is that I still expected that move into $2, into 1.95. I still do think that, all right? I mean, you should be prepared for some sort of a move up here if we get some positive news this evening. But ultimately, XRP has still been underperforming Bitcoin by a long shot. And there also isn't really much momentum coming into XRP, all right? So even though I do expect this support level to hold, and there are a lot of shorts open, so it could be that we have some sort of a short squeeze first. But due to the weakness where we have seen, and we still see at this point of time, I would expect this. But those are my thoughts on XRP. Talking about some other altcoins right now, there's not much that's interesting. I think EOS, so EOS, is still very interesting. I still have a long position open on that. But this is, I mean, to buy this right now is a risk. Let's keep it at that. I think SUI is very interesting. Main resistance level is at 2.5. If we can get some sort of good news tonight and we get a close above that, we get a breakout, I think SUI is one of the altcoins that can actually rally a lot. And then outside of that, yeah, there are some coins here and there with some volume that are nice, such as CurveDAO. We've talked about that before. Big Time as well. So there's definitely some coins uncorrelated to the market and doing things. Such as Big Time right here. I mean, the volume is so high, you might as well try a retest right here at the 382 fib. But that's it's a manipulated coin, so risky. But yeah, that's it, right? It's best to just focus on Bitcoin and the bigger altcoins, such as XRP, such as SUI, and then I'll keep you updated, of course, on the night tomorrow morning. So I'll see you all then. But for now, have a great rest of your day. Take care and bye.